Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to Starry Tarot. Hi, Trina. Welcome. I hope you're doing well today. Happy Saturday to you. And to anyone who is watching today, I hope you're having a great weekend. My name is Sophie. If you are new here, welcome, and thank you for your subscription. It means a lot. If you are returning, such as Trina, welcome back. I hope you're doing well. So the way that this channel works is I am your friendly tarot reader for this evening or morning or afternoon, or I might even be your friendly tarot reader from yesterday or the day before. But my name is Sophie, and I can answer any of your questions with the exception of medical and or legal questions. And I use the traditional RWS tarot deck. I use various different styles. Today I'm using my Hocus Pocus deck. I'm feeling a little bit spooky today, so that's what we're working with. All of my donation information can be found pinned at the top of the chat, as well as within the chat itself. Shout out to my Nightbot moderator, and as well as in the information of the video. Mini readings start at $7.77. Those consist of 5 cards, 1 question, and it's $7.77 if you donate using Venmo, Cashapp, or PayPal. If you need to use SuperChat, then a mini reading is $9.99. I also offer full readings, which consist of 10 cards. Those can be split into either 2 5-card readings or 1 full 10-card reading. That is $14.14 unless you need to use SuperChat, in which it is $20.20. And then I also offer in-depth/expanded readings. Those consist of 15 cards, and that can be done as 1 question, 2 questions, 1 10-card reading, 1 5-card reading, or 3 5-card readings. And those are $21.21 unless you need to use SuperChat again, and then they are $29.29. And as I mentioned earlier, I answer any and all questions with the exception of medical or legal questions. Please refer to a professional for that in those fields, a legal or medical professional. I am not the one. I answer a lot of questions regarding romance, matters of the heart, relationships, interpersonal relationships, including platonic ones, friendships, family connections, coworkers, neighbors, you name it. Lots of questions regarding career and finance, spiritual questions. And I am also a psychic medium. One of the reading options that I have for you is I am a medium. I can communicate with those who have passed on. I full disclosure, if it is something that you are interested in, please let me know before sending your donation. I do need to check to make sure I can indeed get in touch with them. 95% of the time I can, but sometimes I can't. Sometimes people have reincarnated. Sometimes people have not made it through to that level of heavenly plane in which they're able to communicate. It could be for a number of reasons. Sometimes people have a difficult time communicating right after they've passed. Hey, Kendra. Hey, girl. Hey, how are you doing? Happy Saturday to you. Hope the weekend is treating you well. Yeah, so for mediumship readings, I simply ask that before sending your donation, if you could send me the name of the person who you are looking to get into contact with, their relation to you, their date of birth, and their date of passing. Hi, Trina. I'm doing well today. How are you? Good to see you. And we just received our first donation from Miss Kendra. Thank you so much, Kendra. Please go ahead and post your question right there in the chat. Thank you. What can I expect this upcoming week. Okay. Let us see. Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides, what can Kendra expect from this upcoming week? Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides, what can Kendra expect from this upcoming week? Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides, what can Kendra expect from this upcoming week? Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides, what can Kendra expect from this upcoming week? Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides, what can Kendra expect from this upcoming week? Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides, what can Kendra expect from this upcoming week? Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides, what can Kendra expect from this upcoming week? Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides, what can Kendra expect from this upcoming week? Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides, what can Kendra expect from this upcoming week? And we just received another donation. Thank you very, very much. From Brian. Thank you so much, Brian, for your donation. Let me go ahead and add you here. All right, Kendra, let us see. We have the Magician reversed, Ace of Wands reversed, the Emperor, Two of Pentacles reversed, and Two of Cups. Interesting. Very interesting. I'm seeing some really up and down energies here. I don't know if you're noticing it. I definitely need some clarity here. Wow, the Emperor and the Two of Cups. Yep, this Ace of Wands is reversed here, but and this Magician is reversed here. Yeah. Okay. So that's what that was kind of what I was concerned about. I was concerned that the Magician reverse. I believe the Magician reverse is telling me that there's some kind of deceptive person in your life. It could be a deceptive group of people, but there's something. Maybe it's the. Did you say that people? I think you mentioned that you had some coworkers who were talking poorly about you, or at least your position at your work. Yeah, it's interesting because we have the Magician reverse, and then we have the Emperor upright, right in the center, which is telling me that there's two figures here. There's and it might be with this Magician card. It might be like a contingency of folks who are not being forthright, are using their energies and time on things that they shouldn't, useless matters. Yeah, I had a reader seeking some kind of tower moment for me with career, so I'm assuming it's work related. Some kind of tower moment. Okay, that's interesting that you mentioned that because I don't. While we clearly don't have the tower here, we do have this Ace of Wands reverse, which to me is not necessarily a tower moment. Excuse me, per se. But is often indicative of something coming to a possible close. And I'm not saying that you're going to lose your job. It could be them facing reprimandation with this Two of Pentacles reversed, but there's something like someone's got your back, girl. This Emperor card and the Two of Cups. This is why I and when the other reader said you had they saw a tower moment coming, that was career related. while I do feel like some fundamental truth is going to be exposed, and I do feel like it is within the work realm. Um, yeah, with this Two of Pentacles reversed, it's like things being definitely things fluctuating, something changing in a major way. But especially with this Two of Cups, I when we talk about a tower moment, um, oh, you okay, Trina. Well, you have a really fun time with your friends, love. Thank you so much. Um, with this Two of Cups, yeah, this is telling me, um, they've definitely got your back at your work. Even though there's a probable, quote unquote, tower moment, not coming from, I wouldn't call it a tower moment so much as something coming to a close, um, and likely something that has needed to come to a close. Now, um, I do want a little bit of clarity with the Ace of Wands reversed here, because yeah, I don't see it as like, I mean, and tower moments can be seen in a variety of ways. I don't always necessarily see them as bad. I see them as an abruption, a major change, which can be interpreted as scary and can feel scary, or as if as if the floor is falling out from underneath us. But what I'm really sensing here is more of a signifier of change and adjustments being made within the workplace. Um, yeah, she saw some kind of shift happening. Yeah, exactly. The Two of Pentacles reverse, some kind of shift, some kind of adjustment. And it may seem bad, but it's a blessing in disguise. Precisely. Absolutely. That's what I'm getting to. And I know I can't speak for other readers, and I, I can only, I see what I see and I sense what I see. Um, but that checks out with what I'm seeing here. With this Emperor and Two of Cups, it's like, yeah, it's gonna feel topsy turvy at first, but this is really for the very best in the long run, and not just in the long run in regards to your position and its longevity, um, at your job right now, which you have expressed that while you want this to be your career, you see the actual job itself as more of a stepping stone leading to a better or another position at another place, another school. And that's not even what I'm seeing here. Um, what I'm seeing here is some kind of adjustment and some kind of shift, a major shift being made within your current workplace that's going to feel like it will feel overwhelming at first and a little disorienting. But it is in your favor in the long run and in the short run. I feel like I think that you might have been a reason for whatever this shift is in a positive way, like in a way that will only accommodate you more in terms of doing your best as an employee and being a team player. Um, and when I say team player, like, you know what I mean, like other people playing nicely, and if people are continuing to talk about you, and and that gets disruptive, I mean, that has to come to a close. Um, yeah, for sure, Miss Kendra, no problem, no problem, and thank you. Thank you so much, Miss Kendra, for your donation, love. One sec here. Hi, Brian. Is that you? Yeah, you're still here. Thank you so much for still being here. So every person has up to 20 cards per turn. So, and that goes for you as well. Each turn, sorry, my phone is being weird. Each turn you get up to 20 cards. You are welcome to skip if you need to get to work or get somewhere. Hey, I couldn't talk yesterday. I was at work. Oh, hey, Tisha. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good to see you. What is going on with my phone? Sorry, give me one sec here. And Miss Kendra, were you interested in a 10-card reading, or did you have 2 questions? Oh, you did? Why am I not seeing it? Oh, just want to do 10 cards and look more into what is this ending or shift with my work. And Brian just donated to skip the line, so we are going to do his mini reading right now. Thank you, Brian, and thank you for your patience, Miss Kendra. And Brian, you posted your question. Let me see here again. Do you see success with this new band? Me, Jeremy, Jeff, Paul, and my dad. Okay, and I think you've asked this before, but I'm happy to ask it again. But when you say success, you mean like notoriety, studio recordings, touring, etc. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Brian's new band with Jeremy, Jeff, Paul, and his dad find success? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Brian's new band find success? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Brian's new band with Jeremy, Jeff, Paul, and his dad find success? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Brian's new band with Jeremy, Jeff, Paul, and his father find success? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Brian's new band with Jeremy, Jeff, Paul, and his dad find success? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Brian's new band with Jeremy, Jeff, Paul, and his dad find success? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Brian's new band with Jeremy, Jeff, Paul, and his dad find success? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Brian's new band with Jeremy, Jeff, Paul, and his dad find success? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Brian's new band with Jeremy, Jeff, Paul, and his dad find success? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Brian's new band with Jeremy, Jeff, Paul, and his dad find success? Growth within the group and getting a public name, for sure. We have Page of Wands, Seven of Wands reversed, Death, the Emperor, and Five of Pentacles. This is, unfortunately, this isn't a yes or no. What I'm seeing here isn't a solid yes or a solid no, which stands to reason based on what we're asking. Will this band find success? Success is sometimes fated, but even in the times where success and fame are fated events, those almost 100% of the time accompanied with consistency and discipline, as within any art form. Dedication, not just talent and right place, right time, but also dedication, consistency. So while there is something, there is something to be said about the hands of fate, Spirit is saying that this is much less of a matter of fate and much more a matter of, this is within your hands. This is within the hands of you guys. Especially you, it sounds like you're maybe you're not the official leader of the band, but it sounds like you are. This is your project. You were the one who coordinated things. And this is the Page of Wands is not the knight, it's not the queen, it's not the king, it's the first and the four. It's the beginning of a new project. Yes, I know you guys have played music before, but I believe you said it was like almost a year since August, since you guys had jammed together. And Spirit is saying that this is largely not just in your hands, but the group as a whole. And you're doing everything that you can do. And I feel like I say this a lot, not to you specifically, but to Leos. I think I've said this to you as well, but I do find myself seeing this in a lot of readings for Leos, in that I often see like Spirit saying like, you're legit doing everything that you need to do in order to make things happen, but there's only so much that you can do. It's a group effort. This isn't a solo. If this was a matter of you going on a solo project, things would be bing, bang, boom. It would be easy peasy, not easy peasy. You'd still have to find a backup band and studio work, but you'd have more creative direction, more independent creative direction. And not even so much about direction artistically or creatively, but direction in terms of discipline and consistency in playing your music and creating your music and writing, practicing, recording, playing live. And yeah, this Page of Wands is saying, yeah, you're doing everything that you can do to get a group of people together and work on a project. But there's only so much you can do. And Leos are good at getting things done. When you have a vision, you go for it and you take the actions that are needed in order to make it happen. But as with a lot of things, not everything is entirely in our hands. There's collaborative. I'm just thinking of the Three of Pentacles off the top of my head. Collaboration is the key here. And while you're doing everything that you can possibly do to, like, you're definitely on the right track in terms of gaining success and a name for your band. It's others that are not. And I'm not naming names because Spirit's not naming names other than your father, and he's not one of the ones that aren't on board. He's almost as, if not entirely as on board as you are. The Emperor is the father of fathers. Like that, this is definitely your dad. He's totally on board, and he's someone who you can rely on in this project. I don't know who it is specifically in the band who may be the cog in the wheel, so to speak, but there's, as it stands right now, your dad is a wonderful force in the group. You and your father are very strong, very influential and dynamic members of this project and this band, making it happen. With this Death card right in the center, that's telling me that, yeah, success is absolutely a possibility for you. And I've had to tell some folks that it's likely not going to happen, and it hurts for me to say that, but some people just don't have it. I don't want to say they don't have the talent or they don't have the creativity, but sometimes some people are really, really good songwriters, but they can't sing to save their lives, but they don't want someone else to sing for them. Well, then that's going to cause an issue. Or sometimes people just have a song in their heart that they want to sing, but they don't have the best voice. It's not something that would lead them to success, and that's just art, and that's just how the art world works, and it's unfortunate at times. But what I'm seeing here with the death card right in the center, Spirit is saying you and your father, and I have every reason to believe the other members of your band are all very, very talented musicians with every reason to be on a path to fame, other than their it looks like you and your dad are the two that are really super consistent and wanting to be super consistent and vigilant about this, whereas there are other members of the group who are just not as passionate. They're just not as passionate. Absolutely. I'm hoping this goes great as well. Yeah, because this Five of Pentacles, I mentioned the Three of Pentacles. I didn't pull it, but this Five of Pentacles is about abandonment and a feeling of lack. And I don't know if this is Spirit saying that maybe if you do identify that there is a member of the band that is holding you back, possibly replacing them. But as far as you and your father are concerned, like dynamic duo, you guys have every reason to be and find success. I feel like it's like one person in the band that is they're likely not problematic at this time, but as time goes on, that's where you'll likely see it sooner than later, because as I mentioned, for any artist or band to succeed, it's about discipline, regularity, consistency. Practicing and getting together at least once a week, finding one time and day that works for all of you. And that can definitely be tough, especially the more people there are in a band, and the older we get, the more responsibilities we have and obligations. But when someone really wants to make something work, they make it work, and you're showing that, your dad's showing that. It's very Leo energy. It's like what I say to girls when they ask, why hasn't he called me in 3 months? Like, well, sometimes, if it took 7 guys to rob the Louvre in less than 10 minutes, they'll likely call you if they want to. People have free will, and if they're feeling really passionate about something and wanting to do something, they often go for it. Passion, I always say love can make the most timid person move mountains, but love, it is also creativity in my mind. Art, creativity, love, they're all passions. They drive us with passion. That page of wands. You have that burning passion, and you're taking action. That's very Leo energy. And so yeah, I really hope that this is going to be a success, and I think that you will find success, but you may have to make some adjustments. I think just being extremely observational as time goes on is going to be key. Seeing who's possibly holding you back and who's not, seeing who's really on board and who you can tell seems maybe not so much. They could be great friends of yours and amazing musicians, but it also, doesn't mean that they're necessarily the best band members. And that's also not to say that there aren't other amazing musicians out there that would work well with you as well. So it's also, I think it's also about keeping an open mind. I know you want it to be specifically your dad and this specific group of musicians. They're your friends. And I think it largely will be, but as I mentioned, if Spirit keeps on saying there's one problematic person involved, then, and if they're holding you back from the fame that you and the success that you want and deserve, then it's well within your rights to gracefully suggest finding another member if they can't be, and I think that goes with everyone in the band, if they can't be 100% in it, as you are and as your father are, Hey, Kendra, you are back. Welcome back, love. Thank you for being here. And thank you, Brian, for your donation. I really appreciate you. you have a great rest of night at work. And yeah, as I was talking about fate and free will, just like one last thing there, there are a lot of things in this life that are fated, it's true, but the majority of things in life are based on our own free will, including things such as success and fame. And your free will is strong. You're a man of action. You're a man of the present moment. But you can only control so much. You can't force people, and I'm not saying you're forcing anyone into anything, but it's like you can lead a horse to water, and you don't need to be, you're already gulping from the water, you're already drinking fully, but yeah, you've got that. You and your dad have for sure got this. There's definitely potential. You're very welcome, Brian. You are very welcome. All right, Miss Kendra, who posted her question. She would like, I think you said you wanted a 10-card reading. I think, yeah, you want to do a 10 cards. Look more into what is this ending or shift with my work. Okay. Yeah, I'm curious myself here. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What is this shift that's supposed to happen at Kendra's work? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, please clarify what this shift is that's supposed to occur within Kendra's work. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, please clarify what this shift is in Kendra's work. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, please clarify what this shift is within Kendra's workplace. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, please clarify what this shift is within Kendra's work. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, please clarify what this shift is within Kendra's work. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, please clarify what this shift is within Kendra's workplace. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, please clarify what this shift is within Kendra's workplace. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, please clarify what this shift is within Kendra's workplace. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, please clarify what this shift is within Kendra's workplace. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, please clarify what this future shift is next week in Kendra's workplace. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, please clarify the shift at Kendra's workplace next week. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, please clarify what this shift is at Kendra's workplace next week. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, please clarify what this shift in Kendra's workplace is next week. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, please clarify what the shift Kendra's workplace will be like next week. Thank you. Whoa, Two of Pentacles. Girl, remember we had the Two of Pentacles reversed in your first reading, and that's what made me, that it was that and the Ace of Wands reversed. I was like, there's some shift happening. Okay, well now it's upright. See, I feel like this is a good thing, but let me not get ahead of myself here. Two of Pentacles, Three of Cups, the Star, the Moon reversed, Eight of Cups reversed, Four of Swords, Five of Wands reversed, Justice, King of Cups, and the Empress reversed. Okay, I think I see what's going on here, and this all looks pretty darn kosher to me, Kendra. So my first, and I probably said it when I was doing your reading, my first thought was that the Magician reversed represented the energy of the haterade that contingency of your coworkers had been displaying towards you, that you had been picking up on and hearing, etc. I don't know if you'd actually heard it, but you picked up on it. And Spirit definitely clarified that it was happening. What I was seeing in the first reading was that I felt that the shift was going to be reprimandation of those folks and almost an elevation of your position. Not a raise. I wish I could say I'm seeing a raise here. That's not what I'm seeing. It's not like a raise per se, but more like say one more thing about Kendra and her position and her worthiness of being there, and it won't be tolerated. Simple as that. That was my first, not my first thought, but as we were getting deeper and deeper, that's where the closer my conclusion was coming to. And now that we pull these cards, I definitely see that energy. Starting with this Two of Pentacles and the Four of Swords. The two, as I mentioned right off the bat, your first reading had the Two of Pentacles reversed, and that was what, in alignment with the Ace of Wands reversed, was telling me that there is some kind of shift. And then you mentioned that the other readers said that they saw the Tower. So the fact that this is upright is confirming with me that this is, again, I'm not here to speak for any other reader or confirm other people's readings, but I know you and you know me, and that's not what you're trying to do. I've been reading for you since like day one, so I know this is actually very unique for you to do. And you've mentioned birds sometimes, which is different, but in this case, this is actually giving me a lot of clarity. So I appreciate you giving me that insight, because I'm seeing that here too. Again, we haven't pulled the Tower, but in terms of what that shift is, it's a shift, and it's definitely in your benefit, to your greatest benefit, especially in the long run. And with this Four of Swords, this is also leading me to believe that someone's going to get reprimanded in some way. I feel like someone's going to be like literally like taken aside, possibly more than one person, and just kind of like given like the rundown on like appropriate conduct and respect. And I don't want to skip ahead to things, but speaking of respect and speaking about rebalancing things, we have this beautiful Star card and Justice right here in the center. Justice upright, I take this very literally in this context, is a wrong being righted within your workplace. The Star is the light at the end of a tunnel. It's a bright new beginning. It's healing from something from the past, new beginning, new horizons. Also a card of, you mentioned that it's your light, that you felt that people, your light shines, your star shines too brightly, your light shines so brightly that people get jelly, and they do. I know you. I've read for you for years. We've been friends for years. Yeah, your light shines very, very brightly, and people with lower vibrational energy that don't have that light, they get jelly, they get twisted. And it's interesting, we have the Star here, and then we have this Moon reversed with the King of Cups. The Moon reversed, I think, represents a couple of things. The dark energy of those aforementioned folks that were questioning your credibility and your value, your position. But when it's in its reverse position, I feel like they're going to come to some kind of clarity, possibly not within themselves, but I do think they will listen when they're being talked to. Again, with rebalancing, we have the Two of Pentacles, Justice upright, and the King of Cups. These are all cards of rebalance, and in a positive direction. As I think we talked about in the past, it's jealousy, and a lot of it stems from emotions. People feeling bitter about maybe their time there, feeling that they're more qualified. Again, I don't think that your position was even offered to anybody who was already working there, but I do feel like it will quell a lot of the imbalanced reactions and emotional reactions and cruel words and that these and thoughts that these people have been having. And I don't want to say that everything's going to be sunshine, gumdrops, and rainbows, but I do love this Three of Cups and Five of Wands reversed. Three of Cups is about I mean, Three of Pentacles is about working well with others. Three of Cups, I see it is very similar. It's often a card of celebrations, friendships, but when we're talking about the workplace, it's about a more joyous, a more harmonious work environment, restoring work relationships with others that may have deteriorated since you started there. Some of those energies could be shifting back to a better place, because right underneath we have the Five of Wands reversed. Five of Wands upright is conflict. People wanting to start conflicts, or people having conflictual inner conflicts that they end up expressing negatively. Well, when it's in its reverse position, it's those inner conflicts coming to a close, being addressed in some way, probably in the way of a threat, most likely. Like, hey, like if you allow yourself to behave and speak this way again, like your job, do know and believe that your job is on the line. So that's what I mean by it's not going to change these people. You know, they're set in their ways primarily, and they are who they are. It's not going to change who they are, you know, as human beings. But I do think there's going to be a shift in their behavior, because they have a severe fear of change with this Eight of Cups reverse. They don't want to leave that job. I'm sure they grumble and gripe about, you know, I bet I could find a better place than this, and this place sucks. I don't want to be here. But at the end of the day, the reason, a big reason why most of them are still there is because they never even bothered looking at other places. They just stayed because of the comfort of things not changing, the cold comfort of the familiar, and I still and I see them staying likely out of fear. Yeah, they're miserable, but most are old, so none of them want to start over. Exactly, yeah. And I think they may have had dreams of starting over at another place, maybe even 10 years ago, 15 years ago, maybe even earlier than that. But I also don't see them having taken action, or at least found success. And there's just a lot of bitter residual energy that they, again, likely won't just drop, but they won't be exhibiting that. They won't be acting out on it in the workplace, because they know that it's a threat to their livelihood. And that's that Two of Cups Emperor energy. That's someone got your back, and someone knows that you're meant to be where you are. And that's interesting. Yeah, Eight of Cups reversed and the Empress reversed. Very, very similar in energies. Yeah, they're too afraid, especially at this age. Even though they're qualified, and they could move to another job. Not, maybe, I don't mean starting a whole new career, but another school. They could, but the Empress reversed is almost always, when we're talking about jobs and workers, it's almost always someone staying in a stale job and or not growing their skills within a stale job. And I think that's also part of it for a lot of them. I think a lot of them have just stayed over the years, and as I've mentioned a few times, I don't think any of them were actually qualified for your position, despite their maybe, or I shouldn't say maybe, but the fact that they have more years of experience doesn't mean that they were as qualified as you. And that's, I think, a big thing to do with this Empress reverse is they've stayed there out of fear of change. But usually when you stay somewhere, you grow and you learn more every single day, and they're not. They're stuck, and they're also not flexible like a new employee would be. Like you have been with this position I think your work knew that if they hired any of the old regulars, they would likely insist on doing things their way, doing things a different way that they felt was better, or more functional or more correct. And I think that's another reason too, is like they're so stuck in their ways. It's not only that they haven't grown, but they're not willing to grow, and they're not willing to adjust or learn anything. And you never stop learning. It can be harder to make adjustments and changes as we get older, but it sounds like a lot of them, if not all of them, have kind of dug their own grave over time. The Eight of Cups, fear of change, so not leaving. But at least with staying somewhere, you should at least have the advantage of developing your skills. Well, I feel like they've just kind of like gotten comfortable. They know how to do things the easy way, in the way that they know that's easiest, and it's likely not the most beneficial. So yeah, good shift on the horizon, love. This looks very positive, and again, this after examining the spread for a little bit, it definitely stands to reason with that Emperor card we pulled, and the Two of Cups, and then of course pulling that Two of Pentacles reversed, and then thankfully upright for the clarification, which was the clarification I wanted to see, was that this is definitely going to be in your benefit. Love seeing justice too. We love that. We love justice being served, especially within the workplace. That can be the toughest place to maintain boundaries and whatnot. I have a meeting with the principal on Monday to discuss my concerns, so she might bring the clarity. That's wonderful. That's the thing, is it with work and with anything, but I think a lot of times with work, a lot of people are afraid to voice their concerns because they're afraid of recommendation. Even I have been from time to time. Hell, I won't get into the story, but it low-key happened a little bit to me earlier today, and I'm kind of like, banging my head against the wall a little bit over, like, damn, why didn't I say this? Why didn't I stand up for myself in the way that I should have in that way? Yeah, I'm really happy to see that justice. Makes me feel much at ease about this whole situation, and yeah, voicing your concerns. You're such a good communicator, and everything's on your side here. I'm debating whether or not to tell her specific names, but I will discuss what I've been hearing. Okay. Yeah, would I give specific names? I wouldn't give, if you want my personal opinion, if I was in your position, I would hope that I would have the courage to speak up like you are doing, and I likely wouldn't mention the names unless prompted, because you will likely be prompted. And I think that's the time to say it, because it doesn't look like and it's not going to look like that, but you just want to prevent this from looking like you're just trying to tattle on someone for something that they did wrong. But the fact that it's a group of individuals, specific individuals, I think they will ask you for their name, and I think it would probably be a power move to not withhold it, but to not immediately say give names. Yeah, I think at being just sticking with the generalized facts, I think is great. A great intro there, a great starter. And I do think that they'll likely prompt you for names, and I think that's when you should. I think it's all gonna. I think justice is definitely gonna be served here. And we just received a donation from Wendy. Thank you, Wendy. Happy Saturday to you. Yeah, I feel like justice will be served here. You're protected. You're safe. You've got people that definitely have your back. And that is definitely clutch. Thank you, Kendra, and you are very welcome, love. You have a wonderful rest of your week. If I don't see you before your work week starts, and I have every reason to believe that everything's gonna turn out just fine. Hi, Miss Wendy. Yes, happy Saturday to you. I just saw a pic of my British ex-boyfriend and his wife. Oh dear. Where did you see it? On social media, I'm guessing. She was a suggested person to follow on Instagram. Oh. My question is, why is she snooping on me? Oh, okay. I was gonna say, because if they're suggested, I don't know if that means that they're watching you. Do you still have his phone number in your phone? I don't. I honestly don't really know how the suggestions work, but like even people I still don't have numbers in my phone, they'll suggest. It's really crazy. Um, but Instagram can be weird. No, we don't have any mutuals or anything. Okay, and you're not friends with him online either, huh? Oh, and what is her name, love? But if people look you up, they'll be suggested follower. Oh, I did not know that. I've got to be careful about who I look at then. Joe is her name. Okay. And when did you guys break up? When did you and your ex break up? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Is Joe snooping on Wendy's Instagram? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Is Joe snooping on Wendy's Instagram? Sorry, one sec. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. The final breakup was around 2018. Okay. Is Joe snooping on Wendy's Instagram? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Is Joe snooping on Wendy's Instagram? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Is Joe snooping on Wendy's Instagram? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Is Joe snooping on Wendy's Instagram? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Is Joe snooping on Wendy's Instagram? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Is Joe snooping on Wendy's Instagram? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Is Joe snooping on Wendy's Instagram? Did it say they were like newly dating? He was watching your Instagram stories around 2021. And are you, and you're not friends with him anymore? But he was watching. Oh, I get it. You guys weren't friends, but he was watching your stories still in 2021. Okay. We have Four of Cups, Ace of Wands reversed. Sorry, Ace of Swords reversed, Four of Swords, the World, and Ace of Wands. Yeah, yeah, she was. She's been snooping on you. I don't know if you know how long they've been dating. But starting with this Four of Cups, she is there. There's something that her profile pic is of their wedding. Oh, they're married. Okay. So, and I don't feel like they just got married, because there's definitely trouble in paradise with the Four of Cups. That's someone who is not happy in a romantic situation. And I don't know if there's something, if something in his behavior has been suspicious, or if he has just kind of turned away from her. in some way, either emotionally or communicatively, but there's something that has changed for the negative in their marriage. This Ace of Swords reverse, Ace of Wands is the thumbs up, like, yes, absolutely, that's a yes card. It's how my guides communicate with me when we're, especially in yes or no questions. And then this Ace of Swords reversed is also telling me, yeah, she's watching you. She's looking at your Instagram as much as she can. I don't know if your Instagram's private or not, but she's not reaching out to you. She's not speaking to you. It's under the guise of darkness. She's hoping that you wouldn't know. There's something that she's trying to assess here with this Four of Swords. I think she's suspicious that he's cheating on her. Excuse me. That's what I'm thinking here. Or yeah, because there's something that's not going great between the two of them that has prompted her to become more curious about his past. Now, you said they got married last year. I don't know when they got engaged or anything, but have you ever caught her looking at your Instagram in the past, or is this a first? Because I kind of get the sense that this is the kind of the first time, and I also get the sense that you might not be the only ex of his that she's snooping on. I think she's this is the first time. Okay, yeah, I feel like something has definitely changed for the worst. I don't know how major it is, but it's something that she's noticed and it's something that's giving her some cause for concern. Definitely, it's something that's definitely on her mind, that she's having a difficult time just letting go of. Something about his behavior, actions, or communication has changed a lot, and she's wondering, with this World card, she's wondering if things are possibly over between the two of them. She's wondering, and in that, she's also wondering, well, if things are over between, like, she's in, like, I don't want to say full-blown paranoia mode, but she's in very much, and I don't know how good of a boyfriend he was to you, but she's very much in stressed out wife mode. Like, I don't want to say with, yeah, I can say with almost absolute certainty that she's got, and I'm not making excuses for her, but she does have, I think she does have a reason to be concerned. I'm not saying that he's cheating on her, but I do feel like there's something. Like I said, he's pulled back in some kind of way. There's something that's changed in the way that things have always been since day one, and it could just be reality has hit their relationship for the first time, or he could be doing something that he shouldn't be doing as a husband. And with this World card, again, with the concern that she has that this might be over between the two of them, in that concern, the question then proceeds to, because this is like really like plaguing her mind. It's very hard for her to think of anything else right now. So now her brain's going to, is he cheating on me? Is he not over his ex? Have things not come to a close with him and Wendy? Have things not come to a close with him and maybe another woman? She's grasping at straws here. Yikes, he cheated on me, and that was why we broke up and I stopped trusting him. Girl, that was what I thought. Even if I can say with certainty that there's been a massive change in his behavior towards her. And yeah, I mentioned it could just be maybe he's in a bad mood or there's something heavy going on in his life right now, but I just don't feel that. I feel like her intuition is pretty strong in term not I don't think she is convinced that he's cheating on you with her. I think, like I mentioned, I think she's kind of combing through his, not combing, I think she's thoroughly combing through his history in a way she's never felt a need to in the past because she felt secure. Now she's like, well, is there something, A, is he returning to a past person? And B, what, I wonder what those relationships were like that he had. and why they came to an end, because people, always tell their part of the story. I'm sure he did not mention to her that he cheated on you, So yeah, she's a really, really worried woman right now, and I feel bad for her. I'm not giving her an excuse. I'm not giving her excuses for looking on your page or anything like that. Even though it is public territory, public domain, it is still a little. It feels invasive, I'm sure. And it does, doesn't really solve anything unless she saw, I guess, photos of the two of you together very recently. Then she could be like, okay, bingo, that's what's going on. But as it currently stands right now, she's got no idea what's going on. All she knows is it's likely something not good, and is likely not something that is just in her head. So yeah, you mentioned that was why things ended with you guys. I hate that phrase, once a cheater, always a cheater, because I do believe that people can change, but for a lot of cheaters, they just can't. Just like it can be, people get sober, but a lot of sober people end up relapsing. It's something that he has a proclivity towards, and sabotaged a relationship from his past, and possibly sabotaged other relationships. What a weird way to find out what his wedding looked like. For real. And it's also interesting too, if you think about it in this way, like you never saw the pictures because it just wasn't, you guys weren't looking at each other on Instagram. She wasn't watching you. He wasn't watching you. Y'all weren't watching each other, and there's kind of a strange irony in this, in seeing, how their wedding went. And yeah, I'm gonna tell you, if things were good then, that's lovely, but I feel for the woman. I don't know her, but I know that feeling, even though I've never been a wife. You know what I mean? Like, that feeling. And especially if you've dated the man. Thank you so much, Wendy, for your donation, love. I just received it. Tisha, you said you just sent in. I haven't received it. Oh, wait, I did receive it. I'm so sorry. Thank you so much, Tisha. For some reason, it didn't come up automatically. Let me go ahead and add you here. You will be next. Tisha Taylor. Hope you're doing well, love. So what did she think when she saw my social media? Okay. Excellent question here. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What did Joe think when she saw Wendy's social media? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What did Joe think when she saw Wendy's social media? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What did Joe think when she saw Wendy's social media? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What did Joe think when she saw Wendy's social media? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What did Joe think when she saw Wendy's social media? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What did Joe think when she saw Wendy's social media? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What did Joe think when she saw Wendy's social media? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What did Joe think when she saw Wendy's social media? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What did Joe think when she saw Wendy's social media? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What did Joe think when she saw Wendy's social media? We have Six of Wands, Five of Cups reversed, the Sun reversed, King of Swords reversed, and 3 of Swords reversed. Okay. So seeing your social media actually helped abate some of her fear. She can tell that she has a good feeling that the two of you aren't doing something behind the scenes. Starting with this Six of Wands, I feel like she kind of had a bit of a, not a, I don't want to say a eureka moment, but with this Three of Swords reversed, she certainly wasn't disappointed. She wasn't heartbroken. She didn't feel stabbed in the heart when, sorry, the lights are getting wacky. The electricity was weird in this room earlier. Okay, sorry about that. She didn't feel, like, while she is still worried about whatever he's doing right now and why he's acting so weird, she felt that it's highly unlikely that the two of you are doing something behind the scenes. With this 5, and also with this Three of Swords card, she can tell. I don't want to say that I feel like you have moved on from him. Maybe we don't fully move on from everybody, but you have largely healed and moved on from him and are living your best life. And that's not just part of this Three of Swords reversed, but also part of this Five of Cups reversed. Like, she can see that he's not an interest of yours anymore. It, from the surface level, from what she can see with the Sun reversed, it's almost like there's nothing to see here. But while there is something to see here, it's almost like, oh, well, this isn't what I don't get. She's very intuitive. She's a very intuitive woman. That's another thing. And the energy that she's getting from your socials, and from what you post, is not the energy of someone who's sleeping with a married man who's her ex. I went to London and felt nothing for him. Is that where he currently lives? So he moved to England. That's where they live. That's another thing, and that's another thing too. If they live in England and you're here, there's also just that practicality of, there's a huge distance between the two of you physically, but I think she sensed it emotionally too, that this has come to an end, that you're not within one another's sphere of influence anymore. With the Sun reversed, you've moved on, and you might, although, yeah, again, this King of Swords reverse is another card of moving on, but she does, if she knows why you guys, if she found out why you guys broke up, or if she, like, gets a sense that that's why you guys broke up, I think she might have some sense as to why the two of you broke up. Because she is sensing that while it's over between the two of you and you're over him and you've moved on, she also gets a sense that the ending between the two of you was a tower moment, and that castle was built on sand. That castle is long gone. It is long crumbled and washed away to the sea. So yeah, that's the energy that I'm picking up here. Is she's seeing, she knows that you guys dated. She's aware of that, but she's seeing someone who, yeah, it is, I guess, a possibility that you could just be hiding something. Excuse me. It is a possible possibility that I guess you could be hiding something But that would be a lot with the distance and everything. And he lives in the UK. Yeah. I mean, I guess hypothetically you could be talking to each other. He could be emotionally cheating, but I think she doesn't even sense that. Um, what she's sensing is someone who's moved on. And I do, if she doesn't know why you guys actually broke up, or if he, whatever he told her, I think she's questioning why you guys broke up. I think she's questioning whatever reason he gave her, which was not, oh, I got caught cheating on her. Nobody would ever, no cheater would ever admit that to a new relationship. So I think she's highly paranoid of just like everything he says and does now, and everything he's told her. She's questioning the validity of the things he's said to her, and the validity of how he behaved at first compared to how different he is now. I also get the sense that this happened recently, and it wasn't like it happened very slowly. I feel like it almost happened like overnight. His behavior really changed. So yeah, she's knocked you off of her list of worries, but she's still worried. His poor mom thought I was the love of his life and then had to find out he's a cheater. Oh my gosh, that's awful. Yeah, I would not be a proud mom. And yeah, when moms like you, that means a lot. And I'm still so sorry that happened to you. It's happened to me. Um, and it sucks. But people get their karma, and who knows how much longer this is going to last between him and Joe. She is beyond suspicious. She's paranoid. Not paranoid. She's like legit. She's paranoid, but like with a legitimate reason, is what I'm seeing. Spirit's saying like she's got some good intuition. She's very observant, and I do believe especially what you've told me. I have every reason to believe there is something that's going on behind her back. That she still doesn't know what it is with the sun reversed. She still doesn't know exactly who or what it is, but she knows there's something. She knows it's not you, but she's still determined to get to the bottom of this. Yeah, what a wild way to see someone's wedding pictures. Yeah, poor lady. Hope he's not cheating. I really, really hope he's not cheating. I mean, I don't know this woman at all, but I don't get bad vibes from her. And if he dated you, I don't want to say that he preys on kind women, but he's clearly drawn to, I think, kind women, and it disgusts me when I see men and women who are cheaters like have those kind of patterns. So I hope it's not a pattern. I hope he's not cheating on her emotionally or physically. But I also hope that she gets the clarity that she needs too. If he is cheating on her, I hope she knows sooner than later. And you're very, very welcome, Wendy. Thank you, love. Thank you so much. Miss Tisha, thank you for your donation, love. I'm sorry I didn't catch that earlier. Thank you for letting me know. So were you interested in... Okay, sorry, one sec, Tisha. Okay, so we could do like a 12 cards for you. Oh, wait. No, wait, more than 12 cards. I'm sorry, I'm looking at SuperChat. Yeah, so you were looking for a 15 card reading, love? Or did you have multiple questions? Just let me know, and I am here for you. I want to break it down to 2 questions. Yeah, we can absolutely do that. We can do one 10 and one 5-card question. So you choose which one you would rather be 5 cards or 10. And we'll jump right into this. First, about my job, the pay is good, but they seem unorganized. And you've been there for like a week, right, girl? Is that you, or was that someone else? I have a few clients who started jobs not too long ago. How long have you been there? How is the job going to go in the coming 3 months? A 5-card reading. You've got it. All right. And Tisha, what's your sign again, hun? Yeah, red flags are just starting. Okay. And how long have you been there? I'm only asking because my best friend's a therapist, and we were talking about red flags in the workplace and in relationships, but specifically we were talking about the workplace, and she was like, yeah, I mean, sometimes people see red flags like 3 years into a job, and sometimes that can just be like workplace burnout. Um, but if you start seeing them within like the first like 1 to 3 months, it's a very bad sign. 1 week. Okay, not too early for red flags. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how will Tisha's job go within the next 3 months? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how will Tisha's current job go within the next 3 months? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how will Tisha's current job go in the next 3 months? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how will Tisha's current job go in the next 3 months? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how will Tisha's current job go within the next 3 months? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how will Tisha's job go within the next 3 months? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how will Tisha's current job go within the next 3 months? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how will Tisha's current job go within the next 3 months? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how will Tisha's current job go within the next 3 months? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how will Tisha's current job go within the next 3 months? Just got off of training of 2 weeks. Dang. Okay, so 3 weeks total then? You've been there 1 week or 2 weeks total? Anyway, very early to start seeing red flags, my darling, as I'm sure you're aware of. Let's see what the next 3 weeks looks like, or 3 months. Sorry. Justice, Queen of Cups reversed, the World reversed, 7 of Wands, and Page of Wands reversed. Okay. So I definitely don't. I don't see you leaving. I don't see you getting fired or laid off or anything like that. Starting with this World reversed card right here in the center. If that was something that you were concerned about, this job not having at least a 6 months to a year of longevity, I am seeing you staying there, and I do want a little bit of clarity with this. We love justice, but okay. So justice, plain and simple. If you've been wronged by anyone at your work, I know you said you've seen red flags and they just seem rather unorganized. If you have been wronged by anyone, or if you are wronged by anyone within the workplace over the next 3 months, it will justice will be served. If it's an individual, if it's a coworker giving you crap, they'll be reprimanded, if not fired. But definitely admonished. Yeah, definitely admonished, if not laid off. Like, really no joke when it comes to justice. And also, justice is also about maintaining one's integrity within the workplace, which is also leads me to, despite them not being a super organized workplace, they do, even though you're a very new employee, they like what they see. So far, so good. And they do see you as a reliable employee, with promise. And I further see that with this Seven of Wands, that they really feel that there is potential for you as an employee there. However, when it comes to you, what I'm seeing is kind of a one-sided relationship here. You mentioned that it pays well. We love that. That's great. But so long as it doesn't come at a cost of being burnt out, or feeling drained in some way. And what I'm seeing is, yeah, you staying there and continuing to make good money, continuing to be a good worker, but I also see you, I don't see you going through burnout per se, so much as I do see it affecting you. I do see this job being rather emotionally and energetically draining, more emotionally draining, with this Queen of Cups reversed, and that leading to a decline in the like excitement and motivation and like vision that you started the job with. You're still going to be a good worker. I just see it being more difficult as time goes on over the next few months. I do see that excitement and optimism, initial optimism and excitement about the job slowly, well, not even slowly, like steadily beginning to kind of go away. So again, I don't know how much you like the job right now. They like you. Again, you haven't been there that long, but so far so good. They like what they see. The energy that I'm getting regarding this Queen of Cups reversed and Page of Wands reversed, I feel is more from you. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but I just get the sense that, and again, you may like the job now. I'm not saying you're going to dislike the job in the future. I just feel like, and this could, this is the case with a lot of jobs, but I just feel like the excitement, the motivation, the drive, the passion, just won't be, it's not going to disappear, but there's a good possibility of it lessening over the next few months. And it's nothing that you're doing wrong. In fact, like I said, like you're doing everything right. Your employers really appreciate you. I think you're an asset to the company, and you're good at what you do, and you're a good asset. You're definitely worth your salt. You're very valuable to them. It's what I'm seeing more of is the workplace affecting you, or the work itself, not even so much people, not even so much like your coworkers or your superiors, but more the work itself, um, and its demands being a bit overwhelming at times. I don't know if they have a really high, like super high expectations in terms of productivity, like really tight deadlines, and like mountains of work that really should be delegated to more than one person. That often happens in workplaces. I don't know if that's the situation specifically, but that could be part of it. So that I hope that resonates, in so much as you have identified red flags. Um, I don't think you were worrying about losing your job. I hope you weren't. I certainly don't see that happening, at all. It's more, I just see you becoming just less enthusiastic over the next few months, just based on the observations that you're making around you. And like I mentioned, yeah, it's like less about coworkers, both colleagues, like teammates as well as superiors. Less about that, and more to do with I think that just the workload itself is demanding, and strikes me as the type of workplace that is really looking for like perfection and like the the highest speed possible. And I think most companies want that, highest productivity at, with the least amount of errors, but within reason, knowing that we are not robots, we're human. Humans are prone to error. Humans need rest and food and water in order to, and balance in their life in order to get those things done. Um, I see it as more like that. But again, the pay is great. That's always good to hear. That's very sustainable. And with the pay being as good as it is, um, it may give you some wiggle room if you do want to decide, if you do end up deciding to leave and move to a different company. Um, this could definitely be, the next 3 months could definitely be a time to maybe put some money away. Maybe you don't need to, but to look for another place if you feel like you are kind of pushed to that. I need to charge my phone. I will be back in 10 minutes. You got it, Tisha. You got it, honey. I understand. My phone got to 0% not too long ago and needs more apple juice. Go get more apple juice. So in the meantime, while we wait for Miss Tisha, the donation queue is currently open. Waiting. So if you have a question and you would like me to answer it for you this day, this evening, I am here for you. And we will see you soon, Miss Tisha. Hello, welcome back, Tisha. All right, give me one sec here. I want to know, how is my boyfriend doing? He is still going through, but he is in better moods. That's good to hear. His name's Hillary, right? And how is he really feeling about me? Okay, well, that would kind of be two questions. So you want to know how he's doing, but you also want to know how he is really feeling about you. Um, we can do a couple of different things. We can either split this into two 5 cards. We could ask how he's doing, and then the next question could be how he's feeling towards you right now. Or this could be a 10, and we could do the thoughts, feelings, and intentions spread, where I get what he's thinking towards you, what his feelings are towards you, what his current intentions are towards you, as well as both your current energies. But that might not give an explanation as to how he's doing right now. It would be more in relation to you. Miss Tisha, did you want to do two questions? Ask this in two questions, or did you want to do the thoughts, feelings, and intentions spread with 10 cards? We could also do it with 5 cards too. It's up to you, love. Tisha, are you still there, love? I need to know how to ask your question. Tisha, please come to the chat. It is your turn. Thank you. Tisha, are you there, love? I need you to let me know how I should ask your question. If you want it in 2 questions, or if you would prefer to answer just one of those. But I need to know, love. And everybody has 3 minutes to come to the chat when it's their turn. So I'll time it 3 minutes here. It's already been a few minutes, but Tisha, please come to the chat. Thank you. Tisha, please come to the chat. I need to know how to ask your question, love. Okay, I don't see Tisha here. We will still wait for her, but that means the donation queue is open until Tisha comes back. Everybody gets 3 minutes to come to the chat. And if I need to know how to ask your question and I can't ask it the way it was typed, then I need clarity. So I'm hoping that she comes soon. There she is. All right. You will do the intention spread as well. Okay, so you wanted this to be 2 5-card questions then, Tisha? You want to ask how he's doing, and then you want to ask it's Hillary, right? What his thoughts, feelings, and intent. Okay, so you wanted to do a 10-card reading, and then you wanted to keep this a 10-card reading, asking how Hillary's doing, or the thoughts, feelings, and intentions. And yes, if you would like to donate for another question, you're absolutely more than welcome to, love. If you'd like this to be 10 cards, I just need to know how you want me to read it for you, love. So we'll start with the thoughts, feelings, and intentions spread. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What are Hillary's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Tisha? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What are Hillary's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Tisha? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What are Hillary's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Tisha? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What are Hillary's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Tisha? And did you want this to be 5 cards or 10 cards? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What are Hillary's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Tisha? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What are Hillary's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Tisha? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What are Hillary's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Tisha? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What are Hillary's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Tisha? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What are Hillary's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Tisha? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What are Hillary's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Tisha? Okay, I don't know if you want this to be 5 cards or 10 cards, Tisha. I'm going to start with 5. And then if you wanted to expand it, we can always do that. We have 5 of Wands reversed, Knight of Swords reversed, Knight of Swords reversed, 6 of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles reversed, and the Hanged Man. Okay, so, and thank you very much, Tisha. I just received your additional donation. So did you want this? I'm assuming you wanted this to be expanded to 10 cards then? We'll do, yeah, we'll expand this into 10 cards. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What are Hillary's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Tisha? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What are Hillary's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Tisha? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What are Hillary's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Tisha? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What are Hillary's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Tisha? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What are Hillary's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Tisha? And we could even make this a 15-card question if you wanted to expand it further, Tisha. Just let me know, okay? The intention spread, and then the 10-card on him and how he is doing. You got it, love. You got it. You actually donated for more than a 10 card. Sorry, 1 second, honey. Yeah, you donated for like a 14 card, so we can pull some extra cards if we need some extra clarity. But yeah, let's start with this. Let me pull the rest of the cards here. We have the Queen of Swords reversed, 7 of Pentacles reversed, Judgment reversed, 8 of Cups reversed, and 8 of Wands reversed. Okay, So starting with your general energies, we have the Five of Wands reversed and the Queen of Swords reversed. Five of Wands reversed is usually a sign that one is feeling as though conflicts have. I don't want to say that conflicts have entirely gone away, but that they're abating, they're lessening. Things aren't as you and I know you mentioned it, but and I'm not just saying it based on what you told me, but you said that things he appears to be doing better. So that and that that would lead me, if I were you, to think that conflicts, if they they may not be all, they haven't all disappeared, but they've lessened, and but with this Queen of Swords reversed right underneath, the Queen, I will say, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but even though you do observe that he appears to be doing a bit better, and that the conflicts between you appear to be improving a bit, there is still a part of you that is feeling a bit, what's the word I want to use? I don't want to say bitter, and I don't want to say resentful, but his behavior over these past few weeks or months, while you do see it improving, there is something that it's hard to just completely forgive and forget and move on. It's there. There's still. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you're still, there's still some pain there. There's still an apology that you might not have heard, or maybe he did apologize, but it's difficult to fully forgive and to not be suspicious of this behavior repeating again. His general energy, we have the Hanged Man and the Eight of Wands reversed. Now, this deck refers to the Hanged Man as suspension. And I think that's a really great way of defining the Hanged Man card. Is, as I mentioned, you told me that things are starting. It looks like they're improving for him. I hope they're improving for the two of you as well, because his general energies, the Hanged Man, yeah, he's essentially in a state of suspension right now. I mentioned he may have apologized to you, he may have not. I'm getting more the sense that he has not made a direct apology or a direct explanation for any of his actions or behaviors or strangeness. Yet he knows that it's something that needs to be discussed, but it's something that he doesn't want to discuss. He's stuck. The Hangman is definitely energy of being in a stuck place, being in suspension. And then when we have the Eight of Wands reversed underneath, the Eight of Wands is communication, communicating clearly and directly and in a timely manner. And this energy is telling me that what's weighing on him the most when it comes to him and you is he knows that this, he knows that his behavior was not normal. He knows that you noticed it. There's no way you couldn't have, and it's not something that can just be brushed underneath the rug and moved on. It's something that needs to be discussed, because you don't want this happening again in the future, and you care about him and your connection. His thoughts towards you currently, we have the Knight of Swords reversed and the Seven of Pentacles reversed. Knight of Swords reversed, when it comes to his thoughts, swords being the realm of the mind, he's definitely scattering his energy and his thoughts in way too many places, and he's lost. He's not fully like he's still. While I do feel like there have been some improvements, or at least it sounds like it from his behavior, he's still lost sight of his like ultimate purpose, his future, what lies ahead, staying in the present moment. Um, he's got so much that he needs to take care of that he's still in this place with the hangman here also, where he's just kind of like just not making any actions, not making decisions because they're overwhelming him. And I see that here with this Seven of Pentacles reversed. As I think you mentioned in a reading I did for you a little while back, when you guys first started, like this is relatively new. You guys have been together for a little over a year, I believe, and then this just kind of came out of nowhere. You knew his past, but you probably didn't anticipate that he was going to relapse. Relapse is part of recovery. I know very few addicts and former addicts who haven't relapsed at some point, and this was the point that you guys got to. And while he may not be using currently right now, he may have stopped. We'll get to that in the next question. But when it comes to you and him, he definitely wants things to go back to how they were in the past. Things weren't complicated. Things were good between the two of you. And the Seven of Pentacles reverse is not just a sign that he wants. I don't want to say he just wants things to be like easy breezy. Yeah, he doesn't want to. He's too scared and to address what has just gone on, because he knows it's a big deal and he knows it's a difficult conversation that he'd rather not have. And that's part of this Seven of Pentacles reversed, is he would rather not have that difficult conversation. He'd rather not put in that work, essentially. It's not work, but communication in a relationship can sometimes feel like work when someone's actually devoted and committed and wanting consistency. He's seeing this as, I my relationship with Tisha is always, for the past year has been the easiest, best thing in my life with no conflicts. And then the outside world threw me down in more than one way, and I didn't handle it the way that I should have. She knows it, I know it, but I don't want to talk about it. That's another, that would just add to, the fact that he has to find a job, the fact that I hope that he's trying to stay sober, and also the fact that he wants to maintain this relationship, despite the fact that this has just transpired, this weird behavior, and it's something that even if you guys tried to ignore, you would end up being the Queen of Swords like forever, the Queen of Swords reversed forever. How would you ever be able to forgive and move on and trust that he won't, behave in that way or come to you for help in the future, repeat past mistakes? His feelings towards you, we have the Six of Pentacles and Judgment reversed. He does absolutely still have strong feelings for you, if not just as strong feelings as you do for him. But as I tell a lot of people, as I say to a lot of people, people express their love in different ways. And yeah, the Six of Pentacles is definitely a balance, a reciprocity of feelings. And, you are putting in the work, you are putting in the effort. And that's the difference here with this Judgment reversed, is that while the feelings are reciprocated, you guys are living in two different ways. He has violated your boundaries and hasn't addressed it. Yes, I think we are on delay and in the chat. Okay, if we're on a delay, okay, let me type this. And this Judgment Reverse card is also him not wanting things to come to an end, but Judgment Reverse, when it comes to romance, is very much an indicator of denial, of someone being in denial. And I'm not saying that you're in denial. I think you know very well what's up and what's going on. But it absolutely needs to be addressed, and it needs to be addressed like immediately, even if he's feeling like it's something that he just doesn't want to stress him out more. I did it in watching from when you started. Okay, so okay, okay, so I'm just gonna free flow here then. So this Judgment Reverse card is denial. Someone's in denial. And I believe I know he's heavily in denial. It's not that he's denying that his behavior was weird. It's the fact that he's not acknowledging it. And he's so hesitant to acknowledge it, so scared to acknowledge it and have that conversation. I think he really fears that he may lose you if he comes to you with vulnerability and transparency. And his intentions towards you are also very similar to this energy. On one hand, with this Eight of Cups reversed, he does not want to leave you. He doesn't intend on leaving you. That's something that's too difficult for him to even consider or imagine right now. But with this Knight of Pentacles reversed, there's this back and forth, there's this battle within him where he values you, he loves you, he wants to stay with you, but he knows that he has to address the elephant in the room, and he hasn't. If he has, and you just haven't mentioned it, I don't think he has fully addressed the elephant in the room, or at least in the way that would be conducive to the longevity and success of this relationship between the two of you, which is what he wants to keep. But it seems like he just wants to keep the relationship without putting in the effort of communication and consistency. And again, not wanting to put in that work, not wanting to put in, or not, and not intending to put in that effort, but also not intending to leave you. But there is a fear, he does have a fear that if he were to be completely transparent and open with you about why his behavior has been so off and weird, aka he's been using, is my true belief, that I stand firmly by, then he's also afraid that you might leave him. That's also part of that Judgment Reverse card, is not just denial in love, but also a fear of your judgment, a fear that you may judge him in a way, that fear that you may judge him instead of listening to him and supporting him and working with him. He's more afraid of being shut down and being judged, and you possibly bringing this to a close. So yeah, he wants to stay. He wants this relationship to continue, but his behavior came at a cost, and that cost, there's work that has to be done in order to pay for that cost. And that's effort, that's communication, that's working together in a relationship. And if he's not willing to address this elephant in the room in the way that he needs to, then it's I'm not judging him. I'm not, it's not my place. You didn't ask my opinion, but it feels very selfish. Again, he does love you. I stand by that firmly, but people show their love in different ways. And it appears as though he's rather negligent in the way that he shows and demonstrates his appreciation and love for you. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how is Hillary doing right now? Sorry, 1 moment. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how is Hillary doing right now? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how is Hillary doing right now? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how is Hillary doing right now? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how is Hillary doing right now? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how is Hillary doing right now? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how is Hillary doing right now? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how is Hillary doing right now? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how is Hillary doing right now? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how is Hillary doing right now? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how is Hillary doing right now? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how is Hillary doing right now? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how is Hillary doing right now? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how is Hillary doing right now? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how is Hillary doing right now? 8 of Pentacles reversed, 6 of Wands, 10 of Swords, the Wheel of Fortune, 10 of Wands, 7 of Cups reversed, 4 of Swords reversed, Ace of Cups reversed, 2 of Wands, and Page of Wands reversed. So you were correct when you said that his moods have been improving. They appear to be improving, and I do see that. And I'll get to that in a moment. But he's still in quite a dark place. In the reading I did for you just now, a big theme there was him feeling scared and unwilling to put in the work that's necessary, not just for your relationship, but in his life in general. Like, I don't know if he started, I think you mentioned that he lost a couple of his jobs, but he's on disability, I think you mentioned, or maybe that was someone else, but I know you mentioned he lost a couple of jobs, and I don't know if he's even started looking for a new job yet, because this 8 of Pentacles reversed is, 8 of Pentacles upright is solid, steady, paid work. In its reverse form, it's a lack thereof. And then we have this 7 of Cups reversed right underneath. 7 of Cups reversed is avoiding making decisions, whether they be romantic, career moves, self-care. He's putting off a lot. He's putting off a lot. There have been some improvements. Improvements enough for him to notice, and enough to improve some of his behaviors and moods with this 6 of Wands. But with this 4 of Swords reversed right underneath, it's kind of like what I was talking about earlier. He's extremely overwhelmed. He is extremely overwhelmed with more than just one aspect of his life right now. He's just in a complete state of overwhelm. And it's like, and I mentioned that he's avoiding making decisions, he's avoiding taking actions. And this Four of Swords reversed is, yeah, taking a step back and not taking action. And a big part of that is, you know, I told you that he does indeed love you, but hell if he doesn't love himself. I would even be hard pressed to say that he likes himself. I don't even think he likes himself. This Ace of Cups reversed here, that is a lack of self-love, a lack of self-care, that is neglect. And can also lead to self-harm, self-abuse. And this Ten of Swords, I think, is like really key to his mindset overall. He's he feels like a failure. He feels exhausted. He feels like he's at a dead end. And I think a good way of looking at this card in order of explaining how it relates to him is the traditional artwork is someone is being impaled in the back by 10 swords. Well, it only takes one sword to kill a man, to impale a man. But the 10 of swords is 10 swords. It's like overkill. It's like the worries. He does have a lot of legit issues and worries in his life right now, but he's amplifying them in his negligence, in him putting things off and not staying in the present moment, not taking advantage of the present moment. He's just getting himself into a deeper rut. And I think I mentioned that, you know, addiction is often a spiral, or can be, you know, described as a spiral. It starts with, hey, I can use just this one time and I won't get addicted again, and then it's full blown using all the time. While I don't think that he's completely sober right now, I do think that he has taken some actions in that regard. With this Wheel of Fortune card, things have made a slight turn for the better, but he is still neglecting to take care of the things and people that he needs to take care of. He knows damn well that there are very important actions that he needs to take right now and decisions that he needs to make. And it's not that he never intends on taking care of them, because he does, but he is putting it off. Yeah, that's what I think he thought. Yeah. I don't know what you're responding to in regards to that, because I know we're on a different time. I know we're on a lag, but then I'm seeing this Ten of Wands and this Page of Wands reversed. Yeah, this Ten of Wands is burdens. Again, with the tens, it's overkill. He has so many burdens and he doesn't want to share them with you. Not only does he not want to share them with you, but he doesn't want to share them with anybody. Oh, yeah, regarding him using, yeah. Like, I don't think he's completely stopped, but I don't think he's, like, just hitting the pipe constantly like I think he was last week. I think he's definitely abated it, and I think he is really trying to change that, to take the helm there. But that's not to say that when he stops using completely that his problems will disappear. Ironically, if he stays clean and stays focused and shares some of his burdens with those who love him, like you, then it would be much easier for him to take this decisive action and get the ball rolling in all the other departments of his life. Because, like I mentioned, it's not that he intends to not take care of any of these burdens that he's dealing with, and he feels and he's shouldering them all on his own. But he is procrastinating, and the more he procrastinates, the worse, the more it piles on. You know, the fears, the worries, because yeah, he just doesn't feel ready right now to take those actions, to make those decisions, to have those conversations that he needs to have with this Page of Wands reversed. He still feels a lack of control, a lack of control in his life, where he was feeling much more in control of his life and the direction of his life over the past year. When things hit the fan about a month or two ago, he suddenly lost not just direction, but lost his sense of his ability to take control, to take action, his desire to move forward. And, you know, finding a new job is not easy. Getting off of drugs is not easy. Having, you know, those important conversations with our romantic partners is not easy. None of this stuff is easy, and no one said it was, but these are all things he does. There's a lot he needs to take care of, and he's just so overwhelmed, and he's just shouldering all the burdens on his own, and he can't. He needs some support. And I hear you and see you just like waiting with open arms to, you know, support him even more. And yet there's a lot of shame there. There's a lot of shame within him right now. And so he's feeling very vulnerable, but not vulnerable enough to open up to someone for help. I can see him trying to hide that. Yeah, absolutely. That and that's what I'm seeing here too. Is like again, it's not that he has no intentions of making a decision or making. It's more than he has many decisions and actions he needs to take right now. He's got quite a few messes that he needs to clean up. But a big one is that shame that he's feeling. Like you're right there, and like I said, I have no doubt you'd be more than happy to support him even more than you have already. You know, help. You know, that's part of a relationship. Is Ten of Wands reversed is helping one another shoulder each other's burdens. So long as both of you are helping each other shoulder burdens, you know, it's not imbalanced. But yeah, if he were to feel stronger, more confident, I do feel like he would be taking more action now, but he's still processing a lot of that shame and insecurity. That Ace of Cups reversed, he's feeling really badly about himself right now. It's not that he feels sorry for himself. He just feels like almost like he feels like he's a former shell of himself. Like he's been here before, and he's like, I thought that part of me was gone. You know, he can go back to the job we met at, but he needs to be mentally right. Yeah, exactly. Because you mentioned that he lost that job, and you didn't mention how he lost the job or why. But you know, if someone starts using it, it may have actually, you know, it's possible he could have started using before, and that could have led to him losing the job. But yeah, if he could go back to that job, you know, that's that Two of Wands, is he can take that action. But in that Seven of Cups reversed, he's overwhelmed. So his coping mechanism is, you know, I've only got so much that I can take at this time and handle. Procrastination. He's procrastinating like almost every day, which is like the very definition of not staying in the present moment. So yeah, he is improving. There are definitely improvements, Tisha. but he hasn't completely healed, which I'm sure you know. And the good news is he doesn't intend on just keeping this to himself forever. Yes, luckily he gets disability. Yeah, exactly. He also gets disability, so there's that that extra. Yeah, he does have some financial income, um, but it does sound like he wants more. He wants to earn more, but he is also overwhelmed. Yes, it's a process. It's indeed a process. And I think the biggest process right now is the very is the very process of him. Well, not to repeat myself over and over, but him processing everything that's just happened over the past month or two. It's been a lot. It's been a very very difficult journey for both of you, and that's part of it. Is he knows he's affected you. He knows this has affected you, and I also believe that's part of the shame as well. Is how do I fully apologize to someone who I love for behaving that way? Is there any way to properly do that? And how do I prove to her that I am not going to repeat those mistakes? And if I feel, ever at a threat of repeating those mistakes, to know that, there's support for me, um, which is true. There's always he has support. He has you. I believe he has his family. I hope he has his family. I hope he has friends. And then there's also, like NA, AA. He can go to meetings and, hopefully try and work through his addiction through that as well, through external resources. Um, but yeah, that is what I am seeing, Miss Tisha. So yeah, it does definitely look like things are improving. Um, yes, good, good. So he has support. It's just the problem is he isn't reaching out for it, and it sounds like he knows the support is out there, but the shame is what's holding him back from reaching out. And hopefully, I mean, that shame isn't going to disappear overnight, but I'm just hoping that in, you not too, in maybe a month or so, at the very latest, he does surrender. And there's nothing wrong with surrendering and being vulnerable when one needs help. It's what one should do. Um, Having support, not everybody has support. It's a blessing. He has people who really love and care about him. And the sad thing is, he just really doesn't love himself or care about himself at this time. So, as RuPaul said, if you can't love yourself, how are you supposed to love someone else? And it's doesn't mean that he doesn't love you or love his family and his support network. It just means at this time, um, he's not able to express it like he has been able to in the past. So that is what I'm seeing for you, Miss Tisha. Thank you very, very much, love. I know he is still using, but I'm hoping he does follow through with treatment and get back on his mental health meds. Have you guys talked about that at all? Or are you just hoping that he comes to that conclusion? Because he may need to be nudged in that direction if you haven't already. Um, yeah, it sounds like it's very difficult to get clean on one's own without support, without treatment. You usually need both. So he has the support. It's the treatment he needs tonight. Okay, good, good. So that's great. So you guys are planning on talking about it tonight. That's wonderful. And yeah, he needs to get back on his mental health meds because they were clearly keeping him stable. It sounds like for quite a while, and now he's off the bandwagon. And I fully believe that he can get back on the right path. Um, it's yeah, he's very blessed to have the support he has, and because not everyone does, and it's so necessary. Well, I really hope that the talk goes really well tonight. That you guys are just completely transparent with. And I know you'll be transparent with him. I was gonna say, if you don't mind, I'd love to hear updates. If you want to just pop in and let me know how it went, how the convo went. I have every reason to believe you're going to be completely transparent with him. I hope and pray that he's just completely transparent with you tonight, um, and hopefully is willing to accept some support. Yeah. Much love and light to you, Tisha, and yeah, it's a difficult conversation, but it's one that is absolutely necessary, and I believe that once the air has been cleared with the conversation, I really think things will improve. Much love and light to you, girl, and you have a really good rest of your weekend, and yeah, good rest of your night. All right, so okay, I've been on for a little over 2 hours. So I am doing a last call for donations tonight. If you have a question you would like me to answer for you this evening, now would be the time. Just send in your donation and we can get started. Or just type in the chat that you have a question you would like me to read for you. But yeah, it is that time of night. Last call for any and all donations tonight. Thank you. Last call tonight for any and all donations. Thank you. Last call, everybody. Last call tonight for all donations. Thank you. And I always offer private readings. I do 2 different types of private readings. I do them by appointment only. You can schedule a private reading with me either over email or message me over DMs on Instagram. And that is over Zoom. It's what you're seeing here. You see the cards, you see me, you hear me, and you can give me all the context and backstory you need. I also offer private readings at no additional donation amount. You just send in, if you don't see me online and you have a question, just send in your donation with your question, and I can answer it in usually about 2 to 3 hours. At the very longest, 24 hours. But it's usually a fast turnaround there, and also offers privacy and discretion that a live stream can't, and of course the convenience of having your question answered by me even if I'm not online. Last call tonight, last call for any and all donations. All right, it looks like everyone is happy and taken care of. Thank you all very much, and I will likely see you tomorrow.